Okej, stream is live. Dobra, witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie w kolejnym filmie tutaj na kanale. Dzisiaj sobie obejrzymy, tutaj jak widzicie odliczanie jest do eventu ASUS ROG Ally. Praktycznie za niecałe kilka sekund tutaj się to zacznie. I tak, wiadomo, mamy już trochę po czasie, jakby ten event się już odbył, ja tu niejako oglądam powtórkę, stąd mogę sobie nawigować czasem dowolnie. Osią czasu i no, przejdziemy sobie tutaj, zobaczymy co dla nas przygotowali. Jestem mega ciekaw, jak to będzie wyglądało, może włączę napisy jeszcze, jak są automatyczne. A nie, dobra, okay. Są wbudowane po angielsku.
Handhelds have been part of the gaming scene as long as consoles have. From simple LCD-based portables to cartridge-based handhelds of the early 90s. And as gaming has progressed, handhelds have progressed with it, but they always fell a step behind.
No i tutaj zanim gościu sobie będzie jeszcze mówić, tam jakieś wiadomo, takie wstępniaczki, to ja powiem tyle, że nie widziałem nic akurat, jeśli chodzi o tą prezentację, żadnych informacji nie czytałem, co ujawniono, także będzie to taka pierwsza styczność, jakby faktycznie to było na żywo. Trochę, nie? I zobaczymy.
You could play Castlevania or a Street Fighter
Czy
on the
ASUS
go,
mnie zachęci? Oj,
but they didn't
czy ASUS
quite
mnie
live up
zachęci
to the
końcowo?
standard of the originals. In the late 90s
Siema, siema.
and the early 2000s, we have entered the age of 3D graphics, allowing
Na razie wiadomo, jest
adventure, fantasy,
taki
sports,
zarys generalny,
other
dlaczego w
genres
ogóle
to
ten handheld
explore
istnieje, nie?
the entire
Dlaczego
new dimension of
powstał
the
w
play.
ogóle?
Games like
Powstał
Final
taki
Fantasy
pomysł,
VII and Super Mario
żeby
64
coś takiego wypuścić.
redefine their genre with 3D graphics and the full motion video.
To wiadomo dlaczego, no bo Switch raz, że okazał się mega sukcesem samego Nintendo, jak i w ogóle dla rynku handheldów. To dwa jeszcze Steam Deck wszedł jakby jako nowe urządzenie właśnie w tym segmencie, no i też pokazał, że ludzie są chętni inwestować w te konsole przenośne. Pewnie Asus chciał tutaj też dla siebie trochę tego tortu zabrać.
We deserve a game changer in 2023, elevating handheld into Full HD 1080p gaming visuals.
No na papierze ta konsola
wygląda,
no, jej specyfikacja jest faktycznie trochę, jest potężna, to powiem tak, jest naprawdę, są mocne bebechy. Zastanawiam się jak to działa właśnie, mam nadzieję, że jakieś testy będą niedługo takie stricte od jakichś właśnie ludzi, którzy się tym profesjonalnie zajmują, także można było tu sprawdzić jakieś zaawansowane tu rzeczy. Pierwsza informacja, że Xbox Game Pass będzie dołączony do każdego Ally'a chyba na 3 miesiące i to w wersji Ultimate, więc to dodatkowo streaming, ale streaming nie będzie tu potrzebny z Game Passa, bo Game Pass będzie na tym nie działał. Bardzo dobrze. Nie powiem, trochę taka karta przetargowa dla mnie.
Launch it instantly with Xbox Cloud Gaming with no wait and no need to buy it upfront. You can even play your favorite mobile games on a larger screen or relive your childhood with classic.
Nie wiem, czy to w sumie do Steam Decka jest odwołanie. W sumie, znaczy nie poniekąd tak, bo to jest faktycznie Steam Deck ma matrycę w HD. Nie, no dobra, to jest do Steam Decka, ale też miałem na myśli trochę Switcha. On też jest taki, no niekoniecznie sobie dobrze radzi, tylko żyje od Steam Decka, nie? Ale to chyba Asus bardziej nawiązuje rywalizację chyba właśnie z Steam Deckiem mimo wszystko, niż z Switchem.
With every button and thumbstick carefully placed for a precise control. So we developed countless different form factors, repeatedly going back to the drawing boards to imagine, iterate, and refine the final body. Once we
Dobra,
found
jak
the
chcę
right general
informacji, czy będzie
design,
czarny
it
kolor.
was time to really get down to
Bo biały nie
business.
jest zły, on
We
wygląda jakby
meticulously honed
całkiem
each
spoko,
components of the body
ale nie
for a
chciałbym go
comfortable
mieć
ergonomic feel that didn't sacrifice
jako swój
thickness
model
or
domyślny.
portability.
Ja bym chciał czarny.
Perfect control starts with easy
W
access
takim
of your
kolorze jak
thumb.
Steam Deck. Proszę mi
Your most
pokazać.
commanding fingers on the controller. We place all the buttons at the top half of the chassis using Xbox's tried and true asymmetrical stick layouts. So everything is within easy reach and
Okej, to
feels
teraz
familiar
mówi
to
gość o
gamers.
tym, jak
We use
ułożenie
a
tutaj
flat
klawiszy
dome
przycisków
design
ma
for the
znaczenie.
face buttons
Faktycznie
to
ma,
create
tak?
more
Tutaj
comfortable
jakby
feel with
Steam Deck
distinct
ma ułożenie
tactile
takie
feedback.
akurat podobne
We
trochę
even
do
place
PlayStation,
two
że
extra
ma na jednym
pedals
poziomie
at the
jakby
rear of the device,
na
which
jednym
can be
poziomie
mapped
analogii,
with
tak,
in-game
a
actions
poniżej ma
or
to jeszcze
use it as a
trackpady.
barcode modifier. The way
Ale
they
i
naturally
przyjął trochę
wrap
taką
behind the
konwencję
handle
podobną właśnie do
makes
kontrolerów
them
Xboxa,
easy
jak
to
tutaj chyba
reach with
wspomniał
your
też
fingers,
pan.
but they are strong enough that you won't accidentally
I
press
generalnie
them
według
during
niego lepiej
an
to wpływa chyba
intense
na
gaming
ogólny
session.
player
It's
experience,
important
nie?
that a handheld device rests comfortably in your hands, so you can play for hours. To ensure an ergonomic fit, the top of the chassis isn't completely flat. It has a subtle 2-degree slant to more comfortably contour to the angle of your wrist, while a 14-degree slant in the corner provides a perfect resting place for your palms. Of course, you don't want the device to slip out of your hand while gaming, so we added some texture
Tak,
surface
żeby się nie
to keep the
wyślizgnęło jak
device
grasz.
secure. The engraved lines of the front secure the ally in your hands while giving it a slick look. The triangle texture on the handle gives you the firm grip on the device at all times. And each button is designed to survive more than 10 million presses, showing our commitment to ROG quality. Finally, it was important to us that the ally was lightweight.
Spasowanie
After all,
raczej chyba
you
jest ten
want to
spokojny
carry it with
element,
you
po
everywhere you
jakość,
go.
bo
But it was a challenge
ASUS
to
akurat
get to the
robi
points.
te
Originally, our
podzespoły,
prototype
tak,
weighed
i
680 grams. In order
peryferia
to reduce the
i
weight,
one raczej są
we
dobrej
slimmed the
jakości,
heatsink
więc tutaj
fin
mi się
from
wydaje,
0.15 mm
że nie
to
powinno być
0.1
tragedii,
mm.
jeśli chodzi o jakość
hollow out
wykonania
portions of the top
samej
case.
konsolki, tak.
Then we switched to a lightweight aluminum to both
Uwaga,
display bezel
608 gram
and
to
the
chyba
battery
mniej niż
brackets,
Steam Deck waży.
strengthening rigidity
trochę mniej, ale
and
chyba
bringing the total weight down to
Nie
608
jakoś specjalnie
grams.
dużo.
Even with all the relentless efforts, it's still 8 grams heavier than our original goal. The ROG Ally is our smallest Windows device yet, but it's still as immersive as
2
ever,
stopnie
thanks to
mater.
painstakingly optimized visual and audio experience. We knew we wanted the Ally to provide a Full HD 1080p experience, so we went with the 7-inch touchscreen to showcase those sharper graphics. At 7 inches, the 1080p resolution provides an insane pixel density of 314 ppi, providing a sharper image to all your games,
No
movies, and
ciekawe jak na tym
streams.
wyświetlaczu
At
ten
120
ile będą
Hz,
grę
motion is
wodzić na
smooth with
baterii.
minimal
Jak ktoś
latency.
będzie chciał odpalić sobie
Plus,
tak
as a handheld
Full
device,
HD
you expect to be able to bring Ally with you anywhere you go,
w
even
najwyższych
outside.
detałach, tak.
That's why we push the brightness to
No ma ta
500
maszyna nie
nits
wyciągnie 120
for a
klatek,
true game anywhere
niektórych
experience,
grach
whether
może i
you
tak,
are on the
ale
train, in the
będą
backyard,
to
or at the
nieliczne
beach.
produkcje.
For the screen surface,
No ale
we
ciekawe
turn
jak
to
ta bateria
Corning's
będzie
best
tutaj
in
się
class
zachowywać.
Gorilla Glass Victus, which is ultra thin and scratch resistance. So no matter where your ally is headed, you know it will be protected from the bumps and knocks of everyday life, just like a handheld
Jezu,
should.
kto? Nie wiem, przez
Corning
przypadek
also
chyba...
coated
Czemu
screen
taki
with
przykład podali,
EXE,
że rzucasz
increasing
klucze na
surface
ekran
hardness
konsoli?
and
Akurat
minimize
tak?
fingerprints.
No nie wiem, to trzeba
Most
mieć szczęście,
impressively, the EXE reduces
żeby
the
akurat na
intensity
ekran
of
trafiły klucze.
specular
Znaczy no,
reflection, meaning your gameplay
się trochę, nie?
stays crisp and punchy,
taki przykład
even in the presence of direct lights.
najbardziej życiowy,
And
może
with
być
dual
inne, to tak
front-facing
niespecjalnie
speakers
tutaj
featuring smart amp
miałyby
technology and
umiejscowienie
Dolby Atmos,
jakby
you will
rzeczywistości,
feel
ale
surrounded by the lifelike audio
pomyślałem,
every
że-
time you drop onto the battlefield.
trzeba by było bardzo
Now,
się
we
starać,
know you
żeby
are dying to see what
akurat
this
klucze,
machine can do.
jak
So
wracasz
let's
do
talk
domu,
about
stawiasz
performance.
tego Alaja na,
We are always
nie wiem, gdzieś
striving
na
for the
półce
top
i
tier
akurat wrzucasz
graphics
klucze,
at
nie?
ROG. And this time, we
Akurat
had some
trafiają na
crucial
wyświetlacz.
benchmarks we wanted to hit. So we worked together with AMD to
Pokazali, że
create
się nie
silicon
rysuje.
for the ROG Ally,
Mega
known
odporny.
as Ryzen Z1. And it is truly a special piece of silicon. The AMD
Tak,
Ryzen
ten
Z1
procesor
is built
Ryzen
on a
Z1 to
4
jest
nanometer
bardzo ciekawa
process,
jednostka,
Zen
bardzo
4
ciekawy układ.
architecture with 6 cores, 12 threads, and the latest RDNA 3 graphics on board. This APU provides incredible performance with the best power efficiency available in
Dobra,
a
sprzęt
handheld
wygląda świetnie,
or
ale
a
w
console
sytuacji,
today.
że ktoś wyciąga go z
Plus,
kieszeni
you get
płaszcza,
the full
jest tak
support
samo
of
prawdziwa jak
AMD's
sytuacja, gdzie facet
excellent
po 40
upscaling
gra w Zelda,
technology,
to by się
like
jeszcze komentuje
FSR
swoją
and
rozgrywkę.
RSR.
Tak.
This Ryzen Z1 chip blow past other handheld
Była reklama
on the
taka,
market.
na wczesnym etapie promocji, znaczy nie wczesnym, tam
so
jeszcze
only
przy
0.39
okazji tego
teraflops
pierwszego
of
ujawnienia,
graphic
tak
power,
chyba właśnie w
while another
okolicach
device from
Premierowy Aprilis,
2022
faktycznie
managed
była reklama
1.6
z tym gościem, co tam wraca do
But
domu, nie,
ROG Ally plays
nie może
an
wejść do
entirely
domu,
new trail of 2.8 teraflops of graphic performance.
i wyjmuje nagle
It
z,
also worked
wyjmuje
with
nagle
AMD
z
on an
kurtki
even more
tego, z
powerful
kieszeni
silicon, the Ryzen
Alaya
Z1
i
Extreme,
zaczyna
which
tykać
is
sobie w
capable of
gameplay chyba.
whooping fast 8.6 teraflops,
O, dobra,
making ROG
2,8
Ally
teraflopa.
closer to a home console than a handheld. The
10
Z1
tam chyba
Extreme
PS5
uses
było.
same Zen 4
Ej, to dla mnie,
architecture
szczerze
with
mówiąc, że ten
RDNA
Extreme to jest taki
graphics,
trochę
but with 8 cores and
overpriced,
16
w sensie
threads.
to będzie drogie na
Its insane
pewno,
power
skoro
efficiency
oferuje
makes
taką
it perfect
wydajność,
for
ale ten
handhelds
zwykły
allowing
model,
true AAA gaming on the
ile
go.
kosztuje, proszę
So in a
mi
world
powiedzieć.
without ROG Ally, handheld gaming was capable of 25 to 30
Bo ja mogę iść
frames
na
per second in
kompromisy.
AAA titles. The ROG Ally with Ryzen Z1 Extreme provides much smoother motion at 50 to 60 frames per second in those same titles. But with Full HD 1080p graphics, not 720p graphics you see on other handhelds. That means your game looks sharper with smoother motion. With performance like this, you can game anyway, anywhere, on your own, with friends, or in competitive scenario. When you are playing solo, you are giving yourself some me time with the latest story-driven single-player AAA games like Hogwarts Legacy, Cyberpunk 2077, or Death Stranding.
Ja,
With our purpose-built carrying case and Cetra wireless earbuds, you will be able to take a break from the story and pick it back up later on. The Ally can do more than just handheld play. Connect the Ally to your TV and monitors. Grab a couple of controllers and you have got a party.
no też
Take
można,
on your friends
ale
in
tu
FIFA
trzeba,
23,
a nie, tutaj
go
czekaj,
head to head
wystarczy
in Street Fighters, or
USB-C
dive
i
into couch
poda
co-op with
końcówkę z
games like
HDMI i podłączysz
Overcooked
i tyle.
and Moving Out. To make this easy, we offer an optional adapter that plugs into Ally's USB Type-C
A, no
port,
właśnie, jest jeszcze jakiś
charging the
adapter.
device and connecting an HDMI display at the same time.
No.
It even has a USB Type-A ports for other peripherals. Hooking up a mouse and
No, bo o tym
keyboard
nie mówię,
for
ten
productivity,
XG Mobile,
4K
ten
gaming,
zewnętrzny,
or
to w ogóle
competitive
jest.
esports. In
Nie wiem
this
dla
setting,
kogo,
every bit of performance
dla
counts.
jakichś
So
faktycznie
we made ROG Ally
entuzjastów
compatible
i
with
nie wiem,
extreme mobile
ludzi,
suite
którzy
of
mają
external
na
GPUs.
na stanie do wydania,
Dock
nie
your
wiem,
Ally at your desk and enjoy
$7,000
the
czy
power
jakoś
of
tak,
NVIDIA GeForce
żeby kartę taką
RTX
potężną
4090
podpiąć.
laptop GPU for
Albo do
top-tier
eksperymentów jakichś
performance
typowo
with
po prostu.
extra ports for keyboard, mouse, monitor, Ethernet, and more. Incredible performance isn't just about graphics. The ROG Ally's PCIe Express 4.0 SSD provides blistering data
Tak,
transfer
akurat
speeds.
teraflops, no to
With this super fast drive,
dalej
the
jest
Ally boots
popularny i
up
dalej
instantly
będzie.
and game launches quickly to get you right
Jak
into
wielu
the
ludzi
action.
sobie wzięło to jako taką
If you need more storage,
taki raw
the Ally's
performance
UHS-2 micro SD
wskaźnik
cards
jakby,
allows
co
you
nie?
to expand your game libraries as
I
much
według
as you
tego
want,
decydują czasami
without
o zakupie
compromising those
jakiegoś
load
sprzętu,
times.
znaczy często w sumie.
The Ally LPDDR5 6400 memory keeps Ryzen APU fat with data at the moment's notice, letting Ryzen Z1 Extreme puts its best foot forwards. And with the latest Wi-Fi 6E technology on board, you will see more consistent download speeds, more reliable cloud
Nalają po
gaming,
telefonu,
and
bo
uninterrupted
telefon się
video
nie nadaje do
streaming at
YouTube'a już.
1080p.
Jak to wyjdzie, to już
Just
nikt nie
like
będzie
ROG
korzystać
laptops,
z YouTube'a na
we give
telefonie.
you complete control over this performance with our turbo, performance, and silent modes. You can adjust TGP on fly to give yourself more game time, with up to 2 hours available from performance modes in AAA games. Turn it down to silent modes for cloud gaming and video consumption, and your battery will last even longer, giving you up to 6.8 hours of entertainment on your ROG Ally, even when you are away
Heavy
from the wall
gaming,
outlets.
performance, tak.
Now let's talk about the
To było
secret
2 godziny
sauce.
chyba.
ROG Intelligent Cooling. Every device we build needs to deliver maximum performance while keeping it cool and quiet. We need a different cooling paradigm to build ROG Ally. Since the hardware sits behind the screen, we have already learned how to master this type of cooling thanks to our experience with ROG Mothership and Flow Z13. The result is something we call our zero gravity thermal system.
W tym wieku chyba
thanks to
podobnie,
its quiet
wydaje mi
performance,
się. Może
also
coś tam
provides zero
koło...
distraction from
Zależy od
what's
gry, co
truly
nie, ale taki
important,
cyberpunk
your
chyba...
games. We call it zero
No to
gravity
też niecałe 2
because
godziny
it's
chyba jest
designed
w
to be
stanie
used in any
wytrzymać na
orientation.
baterii, jak grasz to.
Sitting upright in a chair,
Ale
lying
to
down in
szkoda,
your
że
bed,
Matiego z nami nie
or
ma.
however else you game.
Na pewno
With
by tutaj się
ROG
odwoływał
you
na
can do it
bieżąco do
all
tego, co
with
tu
no drop in
mówił.
performance. To draw heat away
Bo on
from
jest
crucial
posiadaczem akurat
components,
Steam Decka.
we use a special kind of heat pipe,
I
providing
próbował
extra
cyberpunka,
friction
co nie,
to
więc
increase the
tutaj
capillary force in the
to
pipe,
wiedział na pewno,
keeping
jak to się
gravity from
prezentuje.
interfering with the fluid inside. We also put fluid bearing in the fans, which is quieter, more durable, and create less friction when held in different type of orientations. The ALI's heatsink uses ultra-thin fins, as slim as 0.1 millimeters, which increases the total surface area by 10% for improved heat dissipation. And with dust filters on the intake vents, the inside of your device will stay cleaner and cooler. While typical handhelds uses a single fan, we knew that dual fan solution was going to provide more efficient cooling with less noise. On the left here is an ROG Ally prototype with a single fan, while the right shows the new dual fan system, keeping heat and noise to a minimum. Never settle for anything less than ROG intelligent cooling. Finally, we would like to talk about our custom software that pushes the Ally to the next level. We have been
Co to
developing
jest?
Armory Crate for a long time, not just ROG desktop and laptops,
Wiem, że właśnie
but
ten
even
Armory
the
Crate
ROG
ma
phones.
być.
With ROG Ally, we are proud to introduce Armory Crate SE, a special edition of Armory Crate designed to help you play all your games
Okay.
on one device. We gamers are rarely satisfied with just 1 or 2 games. We have massive libraries, spanning multiple publishers and platforms. This freedom of choice is amazing, but it does split up your collection across multiple launchers. With Armory Crate SE, we want to give you one place for all your games. The program
spoko,
will
taki
scan
GOG
your
trochę,
system
nie?
for install titles and
Integruje
provide a
wszystkie te
shortcut to
launchery,
each one of them.
Steama, Epica.
Armory Crate SE also provide 3 different control
Co tam
schemes.
jeszcze jest? Pewnie
You can
EA,
use standard
tak,
gameplay
App,
modes, recognized by
Ubisoft
many games.
Connect.
Touch control for Windows, and you can map the ROG Allies button to mouse and keyboard for the games that support those inputs.
Nie no.
And when you aren't gaming, you can use the thumbstick to navigate Windows
Będzie ten w
desktop
instrukcji
with the
obsługi
traditional cursor.
napisane pewnie.
You can remap
Jak
buttons
kupisz.
game by game to create truly customized
Nie chcą
experience
straszyć.
that travel with you. Almost every button on Ally is remappable. Just open the profile for the games you want to customize and select the button you want to remap. Each button can have 2 functions mapped to it, with secondary function accessible with the paddles on the back of the device. It's not just buttons. You can customize the dead zone and range of your joystick, giving you more precision
No
when you
spoko,
aim.
takie
If you want to set the
ustawienia
dead zone larger
zaawansowane
to
jak
avoid
najbardziej.
accidental missteps, you can do that. The same goes to the buttons on the top.
mile
The
widziane.
trigger range is fully adjustable Armory Crate. So if you want a weapon with a
Jak
hair
gdybym się
trigger
wyposażał
for
faktycznie
firing
w
at
tego
moments
Alaya,
of
no mam nadzieję,
notice,
że będzie ta
it's
wersja
all in your
z
control.
Z1 prockiem.
Customized
Jestem
haptic
ciekaw, jak
feedback
ona sobie
built
będzie
into the
radzić.
handles
To tak
allow
jak
for
pierwsze.
incredible immersion,
I jaka cena
pulling
będzie,
you
ale to
right into
raczej
the
ten model
action
bym
with
celował.
whatever intensity you choose.
Ostatecznie, gdybym faktycznie
We
musiał
even
już tak
included
testować,
Aura Sync RGB around both
to bym pewnie sobie
thumbsticks,
przesiedział nad tymi
allowing
ustawieniami,
you to
podejrzewam,
choose your favorite
żeby
lighting
żeby
pattern
dopasować
for
wszystko
unique style.
pod siebie.
Or sync the lighting with supported titles to draw you into the game world. If you want to change settings in mid-game, you can press a single button to have a full control center at your fingertip. Adjust your performance
Czy nie wiem, czy gościu
control
wspomniał
scheme,
o tym, czy
lighting,
można gry
and so
pobierać,
much more
mając
with just a
konsolę
few
wyłączoną.
taps. Access to popular game store,
W
ROG
sensie, w
Elite
takim sensie,
Rewards,
że
and other crucial settings like
przenosisz
Wi-Fi
ją do
and
stanu
Bluetooth.
uśpienia, jakby i gry się
You
dalej
can even
pobierają.
record your game footage, then organize your
Steam Deck
library
tego
of
dalej nie
screenshots
potrafi,
and
pomimo
game recordings
już
from one central
ponad tego roku,
location.
nie?
All edit videos
Konsola
and
musi
share
dać, żeby
them
się
to
pobrały
the social
gry.
media instantly. Thanks to Windows 11, you can do anything, game, stream, or even work from this one ultra-portable device. With Windows Hello, you can log into ROG
Będę zanosić na
Ally
uczelnię
instantly
zamiast laptopa,
with a fingerprint
takiego Alaya, i
sensor
będę
built
sobie go
into the
podpinać
power button. So you don't have
do
to type in
PC-ów.
long passwords every time. And with
będę sobie
Microsoft's
zadania
built-in
jakieś tam
security
cisnął, nie
features,
wiem,
you are
z Linuxa czy
protected
coś.
against all sort of
Zainstaluję
cyber
drugi
threats.
system operacyjny. Nie, albo
Windows
zainstaluję
Defender
VirtualBoxa i
provides
będę ten
up-to-date antivirus
wirtualizował
protection, and
Linuxa.
parental control puts fans
No,
around
laju.
your kids' screen time and web safety. We are incredibly proud
Brzmi jak dobry
of what
plan.
we have accomplished with ROG
Będzie
Ally.
tak ważyć w plecaku
Incredible
jak laptop,
performance,
nie?
quiet operation, and a huge selection of games from multiple platforms. We are confident it will be your next favorite handheld. We know you are all excited to get your hands on this revolutionary device as soon as possible. And you want to know the price? We are excited to announce that ROG Ally with a Ryzen Z1 with 512 gig of storage
Z1, czyli
will
nie
be coming
Extreme.
soon to Best Buy for only $599.
Ej,
It will ship in
czekaj, bo to
Q3.
są ceny w
The ROG
sumie, a
Ally
Quarter
with Ryzen
3.
Z1
Okej,
Extreme
czekajcie.
comes with 512
Czekamy.
gig of storage will be available for $699 at Best Buy in June. Both
Aha,
models
$100.
comes with 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for free, making
Czyli
this
co, u
an
nas
even better
będzie
deal.
100
Check out
dolarów
Best
więcej,
Buy
tak?
to
Ogólnie.
pre-order this device today and team up with your ally as soon as possible. If you want to make an absolute
Chyba.
most of your ROG Ally, it is compatible with every model of XG Mobile.
Miał 599,
We currently offer two
699,
options.
700 dolarów to jest
GC32
chyba...
with AMD Radeon RX 6050M
Dobra, teraz
XT
nie chcę mi się
for
tego
only
przeliczać, ale...
$799. And
Dobra, to w ogóle
GC33
omijmy.
with NVIDIA GeForce
Bo
RTX
no good luck
4090
temu, co tutaj
laptop
chcę
GPU
dokupować.
for $1,999.
Trochę przerost formy
And
na
stick
trasie, w
around,
sensie hercz
because we
gierka,
will be
z
joined by
składu, że
Microsoft
wciąż
and
się
AMD in
wyciśnie
just a
tyle
few
na
moments
urządzeniu Forza,
to talk
kurde,
more
nie
about
wiem.
this incredible
Nie,
new
to jakieś
device.
mniejsze.
Come on,
Jakieś,
let's go with me.
Jakieś gry takie... indie, nie? Bardziej.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Gier takich mainstreamowych, typu jakieś AAA, tak? Nawet AA, to bardziej zaawansowane, to nie ma opcji. Jakby.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our post-event discussion here on the ROG Ally, the new latest gaming Windows-based handheld from ROG. Thank you for joining me here. We've got Sean from ASUS, Rowan from Xbox, and Frank from AMD. And you know, the first
Wielka
question I
trójca.
think everyone's wondering is, can the Ally handle crisis?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I sure hope so. This thing is a beast. We're going to talk all about it. And you know, Sean, first and foremost, what were the biggest challenges with creating a device like this?
Yeah, so when we go through the survey with our focus group, the number one thing that they wanted is a balanced weight distributed handheld devices. And the targeted weight was 600 grams because the current handheld devices in the market today are being too heavy. It's not something that they can engage for a very long period of time. So, you know, their game time, their fun time kind of got cut down because it's not comfortable. So when we first thought about the
Okay,
design
jeszcze
target
tak
for ROG
120
Ally was
minut.
really thinking about a device that can
30.
get into gamers' hands for hours of fun time.
Posłuchajmy,
So
czy
weight
tutaj
was
mają
our
coś ciekawego,
number
bo
one thing,
generalnie to się chyba
to
już
overcome. And,
skończyło, bo
you know, I
gościu
kind of
wszystko
covered through
powiedział
how
wcześniej
we
na początku,
took our
teraz
engineering
tylko...
excellence to drive the weights down. And then the second thing is
Teraz
about
jest tylko
navigation.
taki-
The navigation on the
taka
Ally,
pogadanka
thinking
z
about
tymi
intuitive type of navigation experience with customers,
przedstawicielami
navigating through
Xboxa, AMD,
controllers,
tak.
navigating through keyboard and mouse and touch screen. And that's where it led to the end. We ended up implementing two ECs together, being able to run touch screen, keyboard, mouse, and the
Może
game
w międzyczasie
controllers all on the
zajrzeć,
same
czy jakieś
device
polskie
in
ceny
parallel.
już?
So those are the two things that we feel like was very proud of that what we have achieved.
Makes sense. Okay, so a lot of these devices run Linux or Android, but in this case, you chose Windows. Why
Windows,
is that?
of course.
Let's talk about that.
So,
Say more.
Yeah. so let's talk about Android first. Android games. Currently, we have a product called ROG Phone. It's a product that we launched last month, and that serviced the Android market. But for gamers like myself, you know, in the last 5 to 10 years, I have a collection of games in different platforms. I have
No
games
Windows
in
10
Steam,
to
I have
proste,
games
no
in
po
Epic, I
prostu
have games
wybrali
in
go
other
dlatego,
platforms.
że
When I think
będzie
about a
natywny ze
device
wszystkimi
that
platformami
I would use
obsługiwać,
for
nie, bez
myself, I
problemu.
wanted to make sure the games that I already own can be played on this new handheld device. And there's no brainer. Windows is the most inclusive system for all the games. Everything that I own plays on Windows, right? And now there's Game Pass available for me to discover new games. And on the other side, as a hardware manufacturer, having the latest hardware driver supports in Windows is a huge thing for me. It's super convenient for hardware manufacturers. To
Hey
feel
guys, I'm Thomas
comfortable
Tech
that
Chap,
the
and
new
this-
technology, the new high-speed Wi-Fi, high-speed PCIe, will be supported in Windows, and that's no-brainer. Windows is the choice to go.
Well, I've been using this for a little bit, and Windows does perform beautifully in this form factor. Let's talk about some of those enhancements gamers can expect with this experience from Windows.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's great certainly to hear Sean talk about his experiences. And I think, you can certainly count on the power of the PC gaming community to kind of really push the bar. In terms of things we've been hearing and what we sort of see, familiarity is huge. Like, you can pick up this device and you instantly know how to use it. You don't have to figure out how to navigate and get things connected. You don't need to figure out how to pair controllers and other devices to it. You don't have to figure out where you can go find your apps. Like, all of those things are just the same thing that you are used to from the history of how you've been using the PC products before. Innovation, I think, is another really big push that we get a lot. I mean, tons of work goes into actually tailoring and optimizing the silicon with the underlying operating system to really make sure that you are getting the best
Wkrótce
performance
ruszy
and
w
efficiency out of the
Polsce. Muszę
experience.
przygotować
But I also look at things that we do
3799
too, like
zł za model
auto
z
HDR is
procesorem
a great
Z1
example.
Extreme.
You have this huge
Tutaj
catalog
jest
and history of
właśnie
games,
notka Z1
and you love
Extreme.
those games. And they
Nie
now
mówię tutaj
actually
o
play
zwykłym
better
modelu Z1,
on
który
new
został też
hardware,
zapowiedziany przez
because
ASUSa,
we can
który ma
actually light up
w
those
trzecim
colors.
kwartale
This is all done
wyjść,
without
czyli to
developers
będzie
having to touch anything in the code base to make it.
okres,
They produce, 5 years ago.
okres
And then I might
wakacji
just echo
chyba,
the openness. Like, to
do
me,
września jakoś.
I think it's
Więc
incredible
prawdopodobnie we
that you
wrześniu
open this up
wyjdzie.
and you have
Wypuszczą
your
go.
Xbox app and all of your games.
Raczej tak
there. You
podejrzewał.
also have, your Steam store.
Czy
You've got your
800.
Riot services store. So to me,
Za
the
Z1
idea that
Extreme.
we are putting the player at the center
jest tak
and we
źle,
are acknowledging the
kurczę.
fact that the player plays
Nie
across
ma napisane
a ton
chyba.
of different places in different form
Nie
factors.
ma
and
napisanej
that-
ceny za
that to me
zwykły
is
model,
great, and
ale
it's
to jest
extensible,
$100
I think ASUS
mniej.
has done some great things. If you look
Więc
at
w
some of
naszym
their
przypadku
command center
tak
investments,
400
you look at,
około, czyli
the rest of the sort of
3400,
applications that they
co
put in
też
there.
nie, co też mi się wydaje nie
Game
jest
Pass
wcale
is
takim złym,
absolutely a huge part of the equation.
taką złą
How do
ceną,
you think
kurczę,
gamers will make the
3400
most out of this service?
Yeah, absolutely.
za
So Game
sprzęt,
Pass
który
for
oferuje
us is,
taki,
it is the way
takie
that we are
parametry.
putting a whole collection of hundreds
To
of titles
tylko jest w
kinda
sumie
in
300
the
więcej
hands of
niż
players.
deck, nie?
It's
tej
integrated into the
najbogatszej
Windows
wersji.
experience with an application through the Xbox app. And
Ja sobie
to me,
generalnie
it's this
założyłem taki
collection
limit,
not only
gdyby,
of what we produce with Xbox Game Studios, first party, but you also have this
gdyby,
huge collection of third party
ten
games that are
Ally
accessible. And
kosztował,
we put a lot of energy into those
znaczy
partnerships.
taki próg sobie
And so
założyłem
with
ogólnie,
Game Pass,
gdy
you
będzie
also
kosztować
get to
powyżej
be,
3,5,
your
gdy
EA
przekroczą
Play
tą
membership,
kwotę, to nie.
you have a bunch of
To raczej nie ma
membership
opcji, że
experiences,
jakikolwiek nawet
Riot,
model.
League of Legends are all kind of great examples of that.
Ale kurczę, jak
So to me it's
ten
this
słabszy się
blend
łapie
of
w tych
what you're really
granicach,
familiar with. You can
znaczy
go pick up
gdy
the device
będzie
and
się łapał, no
play
jeszcze nie wiem
Forza
jaka będzie
Horizon
cena
5,
tego, ale
but
podejrzewam, że
then you get
400
to
mniej po
discover
prostu.
all kinds of things that
Będzie
you wouldn't have
kosztować
otherwise
tak około,
maybe even
nie?
thought about trying to play. Sean and I were
spoko,
talking
kurczę, to
before
jest
we
coś,
started this
co
recording and he
faktycznie
was
by
talking
mogło
about how
mnie jakoś
excited he was because
zainteresować,
he's got
tylko no,
Hi-Fi Rush. And he was like, man, this
fajnie, że
game is
wyjdzie
incredible.
później, nie
And
teraz,
it only,
to
like,
będzie
got
okazja, żeby sobie
exposure
zbierać
and kind of
pieniądze, nie
became this
powiem.
big thing, I think, partly
Ewentualnie.
because Game Pass gives you an opportunity to explore in a way that
I
you
no,
wouldn't
zobaczymy,
otherwise
kurczę,
have
bo
had.
Never would
posłuchałem
found
jakichś
the-
previewsów
the Game
jeszcze,
Pass wasn't there.
ludzi, którzy
Yeah.
już
No,
ten
so
sprzęt
thank
mają,
you.
bo pewnie,
Yeah.
pewnie
All right, let's
niektórzy już
talk a little bit
testują.
about the hardware side of things, Frank. RDNA 3,
Dobra, teraz hardware,
Zen 4,
czyli coś, co interesuje
massive
nas
generational
wszystkich
leap
tutaj.
every single
Powiada sobie
time.
gość od AMD, to
How do you guys
posłuchajmy.
Well,
tutaj
thankfully we've been building tens of millions, hundreds of millions of gaming devices now for over a decade. So Xboxes, PlayStations, desktop computers, laptop gaming computers, and so many other devices. And we kind of know what we're doing, thankfully. And we're really proud of RDNA 3, which is our latest graphics architecture that we just announced it in November. And here it is already in this device. And what's really fascinating about RDNA 3 is it's 50% more performance per watt. That's 50% more efficiency than just the prior generation. And it's perfect for a device like this.
No,
The
ciekawe
timing
właśnie jak
of
ta
the
architektura
architecture of RDNA
RDNA 3
3 and
wpłynie
what the
ogólnie
goals
też
were for
właśnie
the
na
ROG team with this
performance,
device
długości się
couldn't have
chwali,
lined
że
up at a
jest
better time. Because it's
50%
really
lepszy
that
współczynnik
engineering
performance per
excellence
watt,
and
per
everything
watt
we're doing
w porównaniu
with
do
that
poprzedniej
architecture
architektury
and that
RDNA 2,
silicon
więc jak to
and
się
the process
przełoży właśnie na
technology
zużycie
behind it and everything coming
energii,
together
jeśli
at the
chodzi o
perfect moment
performance,
to
to powinno
enable
być
us
w
to
teorii
get the
lepiej,
kind of
tak?
gaming experience we're delivering with this device, which is full high definition
Ale
gaming
no,
in
na to
some of the
musimy
most
poczekać do jakichś
popular
oficjalnych
immersive
testów
PC
tak
games at over 60 frames
wydajności,
per second.
że
That's
tam ludzie będą
never been
robić.
accomplished before in
Bo
a type of
tutaj,
device
ku
like
mojemu
this. So
zdziwieniu,
it's
trochę
really
myślałem,
just
że
a phenomenal
będą pokazywać jakieś
accomplishment because you
tabelki,
have to deliver performance
to tego nie
and
zrobili.
efficiency. And that's what makes it such a huge challenge that only RDNA 3 is able to enable.
Can you talk at all about what led to the creation of the Z1 chip?
Well, you know, the team at ROG and Sean especially always like to
Ciekawe
give us
teraz,
some
jak
very
pójdą
ambitious challenges.
bardzo...
And,
In the challenge.
Znaczy bardzo, no trochę na pewno będą musiały,
And
jak bardzo
this was
tu,
nothing less than a very ambitious
pójdą
challenge as
ceny
usual.
Steam Decka na ten,
But I think
na
the team
wakacje, bo
at-
pewnie
at
będzie przy
ASUS and ROG
okazji
know that
promocji,
it's really
którą Steam tam
our
organizuje co
engineering
roku, te
excellence that
letnie
enables us
promocje.
to be able to
Pewnie obniżą
respond
cenę tego
with an
Steam
answer
Decka
to the
wszystkich
challenges that
wersji.
they bring us.
Podejrzewam, że to
And when they
zrobili
came to
raz
us and
przy
said,
okazji
you know, these are the
wiosennych
goals and these are the ambitions that we have with the
Ciekawe, ile
Ally,
spadnie, czy będzie więcej,
we
czy
looked
tyle
at our
samo.
entire portfolio of technologies,
Czy
the
jakoś
timing
zareagują
of the
na to.
new technologies like Zen 4 and RDNA 3, and what the mission was for this type of a device. And our engineers went back and they started designing and defining this product specifically for this mission. And the mission it's pretty ambitious because it's
No.
not just how do you deliver
już
the performance and the
preorderować,
efficiency
Alaya
to be able to play
za granicą
games
na
for
razie
hours on
jeszcze nie.
end in this
Ale
highly
niedługo
mobile
powinno
form
pewnie się
factor.
ASUS Polska
But
odezwać w tej
Sean and
sprawie.
the team wanted to also scale it to being able to be a desktop replacement type of solution as well with the XG Mobile. So you can attach the XG Mobile and like ultra boost your graphics capability even higher than what's built into this. So the scalability of that challenge was really something that our engineers were really excited about, and that ultimately is what led to us defining this this unique product here for this.
Can you talk at all about, overcoming the challenges of developing this really tight power envelope of the 30 watts?
Yeah, it is a big challenge. Thankfully, we've been building highly efficient and highly performant APUs now for over 5 years. If you think about what gaming laptops looked like and 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, they were pretty thick in their form factor, and they could be 30 millimeters, weigh 6, 7 pounds. And what we started to do at AMD is really change the game around what kind of performance we can deliver in thinner form factors and really helping make gaming laptops more mobile. And we've done some amazing work together with products like the G14, which is
Beautiful product.
it's my favorite product right now. It's what I carry with me everywhere I go. And if you look at that product, it's a 14-inch laptop at an incredible form factor, an incredible size and weight, and the performance is just amazing in that. And it's thanks to those challenges and that work that we've been doing together for the last 5, 6 years that has enabled us to gain the experience to take on this next challenge, this next evolution in that challenge. But look, it's our Zen architecture. Our Zen architecture has really disrupted the market in what kind of performance is possible in these lower watt packages, these lower watt TDPs. We've been able to deliver it now in 45 watts, 35 watts, and even lower, 15 watts. And with this challenge in 30 watts and the kind of performance that we're delivering here. And then you pair that with our RDNA 3 architecture, which again is cutting edge, just announced in November of 2022.
Na stronie
and
RTV Euro AGD,
we've
co
been
ciekawe
uniquely
jest,
able to
do
combine those two
kupienia.
things into one chip, like no other company's been able to do before, to take on the challenge of this product.
Znaczy
And
jeszcze nie ma,
I
jest
think it's
strona
really
produktu.
a really interesting inflection point in our
na
industry
tym,
because
na
it's the
RTV
first
i
time
jeszcze
that we're
ceny.
seeing that
A
kind of
to jest model
performance
z
in a
zakiem
package like
Extreme,
this
który
that can deliver the kind of gaming experiences across the
kosztuje
entire Game Pass
800.
portfolio of 720p, 1080p, 60 frames per second. That's just been unheard of up to now.
That power efficiency makes the Ally an insanely good device for cloud gaming as well as native gaming. But when we talk about
Szybka premiera
Xbox
swoją
cloud gaming,
drogą
where do you
też,
see,
bo
a
16
device like the
czerwca
Ally
jakoś tak za
driving that
miesiąc.
forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting to think about who is the customer of this going to be. And if you think about that, it's pretty fascinating because to me, this is like the ultimate mobile accessory for somebody who is a PC gamer. And you have this huge catalog of games, and PC Game Pass certainly helps you with that. But with Game Pass Ultimate, which, ASUS is actually, kudos to them, put 3 months of PC Game Pass free integrated into the Ally device purchase. So Game Pass Ultimate, you now actually unlock a bunch of console games. And so now you can
Nie
actually,
mistrzostwa
as a
to wynika z
console
jakichś
player,
regulacji.
this is also
Słyszałem, że
my
na
ultimate
samoloty nie
mobile
można wnosić
accessory.
komputerów
And so I
większym
can actually
zużyciu
now use
baterii niż
this
30
to
watów,
take
ale nie wiem,
all
czy
of
nie
my
było jakichś
the games
różnych
I love with me
pojęć.
on the go. And so now you
Nie
have
wiem,
not
szczerze
only the PC
mówiąc.
customer having these mobile experiences, you have console customers
No nie wiem,
having
może
these mobile
30 watów to jest
experiences.
taka optymalna,
So to me, that's really unique.
optymalna wartość,
I get
bo nie
pretty
wiem,
excited about the
przy
idea
większej
that
już
the device
tutaj,
is now finally catching up to the
przy
content. Like
większym
for a while,
zużyciu,
we've seen the same
nie wiem,
games in
zaczyna
both
się
these
bardzo
places,
grzać
and
to
now finally
urządzenie,
you
coś
actually
takiego, nie wiem,
have
tu też
a single
komfort pewnie
device
chodzi,
that's
nie?
capable of kind of lighting up
Żeby
both of
to
those experiences
chodziło,
and bringing
potrafiło się jakoś
some
tam
of the player
chodzić w
communities
środku, nie?
together.
Znaczy
What I love
podejrzewam, że
about
jakiś
Game
tam
Pass
wzrost,
too
nie
is
wiem,
how you have
31,
the cloud
32 wate
option
to
or the local install
Yeah.
option as
może
well.
by
So,
nie wpłynęło
you know,
jakoś, ale
maybe you're kind of rushing to
Nie wiem, może-
class
może
or
testy nie
you're
pozwoliły
on a
na
short subway
więcej
trip or
czy
short
coś.
bus trip or something. You only have
tak
20-30
tutaj
minutes or
nie-
something. You have Wi-Fi.
nie
You can
potrafię tylko
experience
wiedzieć,
something
ale
new. You can discover
ciekawa
something
sprawa.
new without having to wait to download and install and make the investment in all that time and space. And I think that's really unique about Game Pass and really unique about what this device offers.
And you just get more time to try out different games.
Yeah.
That's through cloud, right? So
Yeah.
a huge benefit for me.
And there's hundreds of games.
native and cloud. Like that is
yeah.
that's a really compelling combination.
It's not just time too; it's also accessibility.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Incredible
Absolutely.
accessibility towards games.
And there's a difference in battery life, I think you'll see, right? If you have a good internet connection and you can play the games on the cloud, you're going to get longer battery life because there's less burden on the product when it's doing that.
Even the silicon is efficient.
Yeah, and the silicon's very efficient, but you know, obviously processing that at a data center and at a server is going to be, and just
Ale gościu
you know,
zawsze ją
sending
daje,
down
daje
the
jakby
already processed
tak
feed
radził w
for
sumie grać w
decompression
chmurze,
is
no
going
bo
to be a lot
będziecie mieć
more
dłuższą
efficient than
dłuższą
rendering it
pracę na
locally on the
baterii.
device. But
Ale
that
ten od ASUS z
flexibility
kolei, no, ale
is, I think,
pamiętaj,
the
że ten
device of
silikon
its
to jest
kind
jednak,
to
no
ever
zrobili
have
się
that
go, jest
type
chyba
of
wydajne, nie?
flexibility.
Znaczy
That's
sobie poradzi,
really,
nawet
really
jakbyście chcieli
compelling.
natywnie grać.
It's
No
a
tak,
really
tak.
great value proposition.
So, do you see continued use of APUs in this form factor, like long term, and like what do you think the evolution is going to be in this?
You know, it's interesting because AMD acquired ATI, a graphics company, over a decade ago, and it was really the vision was to be able to make APUs, high performance and highly capable APUs, and that's led to us being able to do that in ultra thin laptops, like we talked about earlier. But I think this device really demonstrates the realization of that vision from over a decade ago, where it's about being able to do what's never been done before and enabling form factors and use cases that have never been possible before in our industry. And here we are. It's a very proud moment for our company because it really helps to rationalize to folks like that original vision and opportunity that we saw in acquiring that company, making that investment, bringing the companies together, bringing the intellectual property portfolios together. That has led to us developing some of the most amazing gaming consoles that are out there today in the market, including with our friends at Microsoft. And now this is like the next proof point of what's
Ta
possible
Xbox Series
from that
X, który nie
original
ma
vision.
gier.
John, we talked a lot about, gaming natively,
No,
gaming
ale
on
takie-
cloud, and
takie
gaming on the
średnie.
go, but you guys
Trochę.
also included the option to connect the XG
Tylko czy
Mobile to
wydanie
this
ponad
device.
3000
What
na
led you guys
urządzenie
to
do
want to do that?
Xclouda
Yeah,
i
so
GeForce Now, to
XG
na
Mobile was a
Xcel,
product that we
skoro
developed
to
for
samo,
gamers
żeby
like
na
us.
starym laptopie czy
So
na komórce,
XG
albo
Mobile was first
bezpośrednio
introduced
od
3 years
niedawna
ago,
na
and before
Smart
XG
TV.
Mobile, all the external graphics are like
Ale im
desktop
chodzi
type of
też
graphics
przy
cards.
tym
When you need to power the
o
desktop
przenośność
graphics
tak,
card,
tego, znaczy
externally you need an
jakby
enclosure
oni mówią
plus
chyba
a
o
heavy
tutaj
power supply,
chmurze,
right? You need
jako
400
dodatku
watts of power
bardziej,
supply
to-
just to power the graphics
to
card.
nie ma być jedyny
You know, if
sposób,
you
tak,
want to
masz
have
mimo
external
wszystko te
graphics
gry
card to
natywnie
take
zgrać,
with you,
ale
it
jak-
needs to be
jak
portable.
masz tego Game
So
Passa
it never
Ultimate
made
i nie
sense
chcesz
for us.
instalować
And
tam
then
setek giga
when you think about the bandwidth limitations,
gier, no
back
to
then was down the block, right?
alternatywą
We
jest
don't get the
akurat
full
Xcloud,
power
tak,
that
więc
the
tutaj
performance
oni
was
jakby,
able to pump out of the graphics card. We wanted
wzięli
to
to
make a better
jako-
product, and
jako
that's where
plus, no
XG
bo możesz
Mobile
wziąć
was
tego-
introduced with the ROG Flow
tego
series.
Alaya, no i
We
iść
have
gdzieś
the
na przykład, gdzie jest, nie wiem, lepsze,
gaming laptops that
lepsze
has all the
połączenie z
power you
internetem i
need,
sobie
but
zagrać
we also have
w
thin and
cloudzie,
light
tak.
convertible 2-in-1 gaming laptops
Laptopa
like
niby
the
też
ROG
by
Flow
można,
and
no
ROG
czemu nie?
Zephyrs. For the
Ale mimo
graphics that you
wszystko
only
Alay jest
needed
bardziej
when
przynośny.
you wanted it, then
Urządzeniem.
XG Mobile was a perfect use case.
Trochę.
Now, we started ROG Ally about 5 years ago, and we always wanted to think about the expansion of ROG Ally. So when XG Mobile was becoming a product with Flow, we wanted to be a device that you can share in the family. So maybe in the family you have people who owns ROG laptops as well as ROG handheld like Ally, and you can share one XG Mobile. So it's very cost efficient. XG Mobile today has a Radeon graphics card, Radeon 6850M XT, and it also has the most powerful 4090 as well. So it offers that flexibility to the user when you need to upgrade it, when you need it on the road. That's something that's truly portable.
When we look at the modern ecosystem in gaming, gamers have more and more control of what kind of settings they can manipulate to maximize the performance of their game. What kind of settings has AMD built into this device to enhance that experience?
Well, some of the settings you won't see because of our long work with game developers on building console games to be optimized on AMD hardware, PC games to be optimized on AMD hardware. Our tools, our APIs, our SDKs, our engagement with the game developers goes deep into the game developers. They're developing, they're optimizing, they're testing, they're validating on Ryzen, Radeon, and AMD technology. But over and above that, we have several software tools that the gamers themselves can use to get more performance or better image quality out of their gaming experience, depending on what their needs are and what they're trying to ultimately accomplish. One of those really cool tools that we call Radeon Super Resolution, or RSR for short. And what RSR does is it allows you, if you're not maybe getting the frames per second that you want out of a game, maybe you put something really challenging on this device, or a game 2, 3, 4 years from now that can be a little bit more challenging, you can turn on RSR and it'll upscale your game to a higher resolution from, let's say, 720p. It'll upscale it to like 1080p, full high definition. And to the game and to the processor, it's running that game at a lower resolution at 720p, but we are upscaling it in the rendering path to 1080p. So you see a 1080p visual experience, but the processor thinks it's rendering at 720p. It actually is natively rendering at 720p. So you're getting about 25, in some cases 50% more performance out of the system. So if you're on the edge there, you can't get that 60 FPS. ASUS has developed a really cool command center interface where you just press a button, menu comes out, you turn on RSR, and you can get that huge performance boost out of the game just by pressing one button, basically.
Let's talk a little bit about the thought process of creating, this Armory Crate and Command Center and all the different shortcuts and tools that these gamers will have with the Ally.
Yeah, so we want the optimization to be easily accessible. Like ASUS, for example, frame rates and resolutions are eye-candy for gamers like us. It shouldn't be a process that you need to go into the control center and kind of launch it. It should be a shortcut. You just bring it out, launch it. Not only that, the command center has a bunch of new features like you can monitor your FPS, you can do a FPS monitor. There's a bunch of optimization that you can add to the command center. This is all on a gaming experience. You don't really want to go through different settings. We just give you one simple menu and make it easier for a gamer.
Now, Rowan, this definitely feels like a turning point for handheld gaming. Where do you see both Windows and Xbox going here?
Yeah, like I said, I really think this is going to appeal to both a console customer and a PC customer. But I'm also excited about how many people think about this now as their entry actually into PC gaming. I think it's certainly more approachable. Like, I've got kids, like conversations in my house are whether they get to use it in the back seat when we're driving places, So for me, I actually think this is kind of an interesting step in a really creative way where you still get this full fidelity experience. And then, you can dock this thing and have your big screen TV experience. You can have your desktop experience if that's what you need. So to me, there's a lot of flexibility, and I can't predict where it's going to go, but I'm excited about the appeal that I think it has both to a PC player, a console player, and actually as just a new to gaming customer.
And what's really, I think the flexibility and the openness can't be understated, because you can do anything and everything you can do on your Windows PC today on this device. That's the magic of having Windows on it. So if you like using Discord, for example, just fire up Discord and use it with your friends.
Yep.
If, hey, you know what, you got to do a little bit of homework, maybe this is the only device that you brought with you, got a keyboard, mouse, hook it up to a TV, and now you can do a little bit of work, homework on it if you need to.
Kind of going back to just like the community side of things,
there really has always been a
PC community and a console community. And in the recent years, we've gotten crossplay where those communities have started to mingle and interact with each other more and more and more. But this really feels like it's fully bridged the gap and blurred that line. So what do you think the future looks like in that space?
I think it's like this, it really is this magical combination, I think, of what ASUS has developed in the actual form factor itself, the silicon that's powering this to give you that experience, but then also like Windows plus Game Pass. Like some of the stats that we have on Game Pass are pretty interesting. we're seeing 20% growth actually of Game Pass customers who are using the service across 3 or more devices. So it just starts, it just starts to show, I think, how, how flexible people are, and like the fact that they are opening up and no longer locked into
Kurczę,
one
wprowadźcie tego
specific
Game
form factor. And
Passa
I think the
za
Ally is
ten
going to
Friends and Family, to w
accelerate
ogóle
that.
będzie taki
The
deal,
other
że sobie
thing
kupisz
is
takiego
what
Alaya,
does this
no i
actually mean for
opłacasz Game
developers
Passa,
too?
nie wiem,
I
za
think that the engagement that we're actually
2
now seeing,
dychy miesięcznie, nie?
like
I
on
masz
Game
dostęp do
Pass, our
takiej
customers
biblioteki gier,
basically
że
have said they're now
możesz grać w
playing
drodze, nie wiem,
30%
czy chcesz.
new genres. They're playing 40% more games, and 90% of them have basically said they're playing a title that if it wasn't for Game Pass, like Q Hi-Fi Rush,
Dla
I
mnie
never
to jest
would
takie
have
coś
actually
faktycznie, co
played
zachęca
that
trochę do
game.
tego
So
urządzenia,
to
nie
me,
powiem.
there's this direct correlation to
No bo to,
the
że nie ma problemu z
service
integracją
of
tam z tymi
having
launcherami, to
100,
jedno jest może tak, to
hundreds
jest
of games at
spoko
your
oczywiście
fingertips
feature.
and increasing your engagement. And so for a
Jest
developer,
Windows, którego znam
now they
akurat, jakby
actually
nie
have
mam
a
nic
way to get
przeciwko,
in
że
front
tam
of more players.
Steam
And
Deck jest na
discoverability is one of the
SteamOS,
biggest
tak, i tak dalej, to też
challenges
jest
when it
fajnie
comes to
zrobiony
games.
system.
Yep.
So this, you
Miałem
guys
okazję
cater
troszkę,
all
Cater
może
all-
nie jakoś
right,
długo, ale
you
tak
cater
trochę
all that.
nawigować potem i
And
faktycznie Valve
honestly,
się
like developers, as
postarał,
much
żeby
as
tutaj to
their
wyglądało
primary
dobrze i się
job
nawigowało
is to
potem
deliver this delightful
przyjemnie,
experience,
żeby ogólnie
they
ten
do have a business
ekosystem
to run. And so this
poprawnie
idea that
funkcjonował,
now
tak. No, na
there's
Windowsie
minutes
mogą
a
być czasami
day
problemy,
that
to
previously
fakt,
you
nie?
wouldn't
Ale
have been able to get exposure to
ale
because
mnie
you
to
were either
ciekawi,
locked
bo
to your
to-
desk or you were locked to your couch.
to naprawdę
I mean, now you have
fajne
more
urządzonko
minutes.
może
Like you have
być.
more minutes that you can capture, so both
No
the
i
share of
właśnie
time and then hopefully the share of
sparowanie
wallet.
Game Passa
I think
właśnie
that
z tym,
becomes
nie?
really
I
compelling to a developer. Because it both
jeszcze jak ten pakiet
gets more
właśnie
people
mówię
playing
będzie,
and hopefully
jak
also
się
helps
podzielisz
to
ze
make more money
znajomymi,
in the
to w ogóle
process.
wyjdzie
Yeah,
taka
I
cena
really
fajna,
feel
że,
like this kind of performance on a handheld seemed like a pipe dream not too far long
że może
ago.
bym sobie
Where
zachował
do
Game
you
Passa
see
na
the
dłużej
future
niż,
of
nie
the
wiem,
handheld space going?
kupuję
Well,
co
I
jakiś
think
czas na
it's,
3 miesiące, nie?
The ROG Ally is an inflection point for the industry
Czy tam na
and for
miesiąc.
gamers around the world. What our teams, and we just get to be here representatives of the incredible teams that around the world work for us, and we're able to make this possible. But what those teams have been able to accomplish between the performance, the efficiency, the ergonomics, the size, the weight, the openness, the compatibility, everything that we've talked about here today, it's remarkable. And it really proves how far technology has come for gamers. Like, this is all developed for gamers, right? Like Game Pass and Microsoft's effort and ROG and AMD coming together. This wasn't taking off the shelf components and like slapping them together. This was done for gamers for the purpose of leading a revolution in how gamers game and how they think about buying devices and how they think about taking their gaming with them, and gaming being a bigger part of their life for them. So I think we're going to see this be a category that is going to expand in products and sizes and shapes and colors and price points and features and all these different things. And this is going to be a springboard for a bunch of innovation out there and a bunch of inspiration in the industry. And I think ultimately gamers are going to really gravitate to this type of a device because, I mean, we've been selling hundreds of millions of gaming laptops now for 2 decades, nearly. And gaming laptops are awesome and I love them, right? But there's always been this limitation of the battery life hasn't been great on them, or where can you actually use it in a mobile environment? Plane seats have gotten smaller as over time, over those 20 years as well. But this is finally a device that, we can actually play everywhere and anywhere, and it's easy to carry with you, and it's truly putting thousands of games in your pocket with you anywhere you want to go. You're no longer confined by the size of your storage device because you got the cloud capability of Game Pass, which is you get into instant games thanks to that capability. We have a technology called AMD Link. So if there's a game that you have on your AMD-powered desktop at home, for example, and maybe it's not a Game Pass game, but you want to play it instantly, you can connect with our technology to your desktop at home and play that game as if your desktop was a server, for example. So there's all these innovations that have been developed over the years, all this technology, and it's just come together now into this device that takes advantage of all of it. And I think people are going to really start to recognize and realize just what's possible with all the innovation and technology and everything that's finally come together into this just incredible experience.
John, I kind of have the same question for you. Where do you see, ROG gaming going in the future, and how is the Ally going to help drive that forward?
Gaming is one of the most engaged entertainment, and gaming is education as well. When I grew up, I learned history through Age of Empires.
Yep.
And then my kids create their own worlds in Minecraft. And game is gaming is art. It's hyper-realistic graphics that kind of plug you into the epic stories of the games. With ROG, we want more time for people to game. That's why we have desktops, we have laptops, we make components for you to build your own desktops. We have ROG phones. Now we have a gaming handheld, which make PC games mobile, right? So, the scenario of playing games at the back seats in the air are now possible. And with all this time that gamers can have access to their beloved PC gaming contents, we also hope the publishers to think about, the hard work they actually put into creating these games will be enjoyed, right? And we hope they think about, all these PC games is no longer
16 widzę, że
confined
spadło
to a
ogólnie
laptop, desktop
embargo.
type of scenario, is now on the go. And
maybe I'll build on that a little
Tutaj
bit
na-
because I will say for sure it's been pushing
na
us on
YouTubie
the
między innymi
platform side
też.
of things. How do we think about the idea of you start on your
Szukajmy
PC
sobie.
and then you just want to take this with you and you want to pick up where you left off and you
Digital
want to
Foundry
be
może miało
immediately ready
w
to
swoich
go.
łapach.
Like console has some of those capabilities with Quick Resume today. How do we think about integrating this into the Windows platform? How do we think about
Okej, trochę
really
nowych
working with
faktycznie materiałów
developers
się pojawiło, muszę
and
to sobie
publishers, not just our
obejrzeć
own, but
wszystko.
also more broadly with third party. And I feel like now
To
we
są
can
recenzje,
drive
to nie są
we can drive
previews, to
more
są
of that
recenzje i
commitment to
faktycznie
quick
tutaj
save,
ludzie
crossplay, and
testują
really
to.
having that be something that is truly delightful as you navigate across
Nice.
the breadth of devices you'll have. And the Ally, I think, is making us think differently about some of those
Absolutely.
experiences.
Yeah, you're also the other thing to consider is, the most popular handheld gaming device that's sold out there today, and the ones that sells in tens of millions of units. That device has pretty much evolved very slightly over time, and it has 1/20th the amount of processing power that the ROG Ally has in it.
a very limited
1/20th.
catalog of games.
A very limited catalog of games. There's no guarantee that that catalog of games will be forward compatible. It certainly wasn't backwards compatible before that device existed. So when I say this is an inflection point and this is changing the game, no pun intended, just think about what everyone loves about PC and console gaming today is coming together into this. You're going to see technology transitions that are going to be more frequent. You're going to have the guarantee that it's going to work with the library of Windows games that are out there, not just in the past, not just today, but also in the future. It's a game changer all around.
Man, I am excited for that future to happen. And wow, I just want to thank you all so much for joining us here today. I mean, this has been extremely insightful, super cool to everyone that joined to watch the ROG Ally launch event. It is for pre-order right now and it'll be available on June 13th.
June 13th.
So we
Yes.
are really
13
close.
czerwca.
Yes.
Thank you all again. Take care.
No, za miesiąc, to
Thank you.
bardzo,
Thanks, everybody.
bardzo szybko. Ja akurat nie myślałem, że to będzie w takiej perspektywie. Tu chyba jeszcze testują już. Aha, tutaj wymieniają się. Dobra, tego w sumie to może sobie lecieć jakoś w tle, bo tu jeszcze znalazłem artykuł na PPE, to tam panowie sobie niech gadają o tym, co mają. Tak, i tutaj mam właśnie, może w sumie go pokażę. O. Dobra, coś tam widać chyba, mniej więcej. Nie, no to mamy tak, no to tutaj są ogólnie te recenzje, tak, już redakcja IGN, Tom's Hardware, Verge mieli okazję tutaj się zapoznać z tym urządzeniem i w sumie z tego co wyczytałem, nie będę tego wszystkiego tutaj czytać, to ogólnie jest spoko sprzęt, najbardziej chwalą tutaj właśnie tą wydajność, która jest ponoć na wysokim bardzo poziomie. Praktycznie jak tu jest, no możemy grać w duże gry z segmentu AAA wersji przynajmniej dobrej jakości, tak, praktycznie wszystkie, które obecnie są na rynku. Ale, aha, no jeszcze co tutaj, no, aha, generalnie bardzo schwalony wyświetlacz, także jest, że ma fajne kolorki, tak, i ogólnie wysoka rozdziałka, to tam można było się spodziewać akurat, że to będzie ta udana też jakby strona. tej konsolki. Ale tak, tutaj właśnie jest teraz, skończyłem czytać to na tym akapicie. Problemem Alaya wydaje się właśnie bateria. No, choć producent wspominał o rozgrywce przez 8 godzin, to jednak testy potwierdzają, że intensywniejsze gry oferują zabawę na 1 do 2 godzin, a nawet w przypadku mniej rozbudowanych pozycji platforma potrafi wyłączyć się już po 3,5 godziny. Sporo w tym wypadku zależy od ustawień produktora samego Alaya, ale PC Gamer podaje, że podczas rozgrywki w bardzo intensywne tytuły akumulator wystarcza na 90 minut, czyli 1,5 godziny. Znaczy te bardzo intensywne to co? To chyba liczymy Cyberpunka, tak? Na jakichś wysokich ustawieniach. Nie wiem co wyszło ostatnio, takie Hogwarts Legacy. Coś tam jeszcze by pewnie do tego doszło. Ale faktycznie 1,5 godziny to tak... Znaczy, wiadomo, jak ktoś sobie będzie chciał wydłużyć czas, to można skorzystać z tych upscalerów typu FSR. No to jest jedyne tak naprawdę wyjście, tak? Obniżyć grafikę do low, czy tam niskie, średnie, włączyć FSR-a na te presety, które najwięcej klatek generują, tak, i kosztem grafiki, no i może się to jakoś wydłuży, tak. No, ja generalnie, jeśli chodzi o wydłużenie czasu pracy, to jestem za tym, żeby obniżyć jakość generalnie samego wyświetlacza, bo na pewno się będzie dało to zrobić w ustawieniach Windowsa do HD. Mamy ta sama wielkość jest wyświetlacza, więc to co w przypadku Steam Decka chyba. Także tutaj powiedzmy powinno to się prezentować i tak całkiem nieźle. No i obniżyć częstotliwość wyświetlacza do 60 Hz na przykład, tak? I wtedy sobie odpalić taką bardziej zaawansowaną grę też z FSR-em. Co prawda to będzie już rozdzielczość mniejsza, więc powiedzmy już to będzie trochę lepiej tak chodziło natywnie, aniżeli Full HD. Na ustawieniach Full HD. No ale i tak, to jest jakiś sposób chyba, żeby sobie podnieść, tak? I tutaj co mamy? Średnie ustawienia, Cyberpunk, pewnie natywne Full HD, tak? I Turbo 39, Performance 31, Silent 16. No Silent to musi być cicho, tak? Steam Deck 29 ogólnie, czyli to jest gdzieś tak prezentuje się w tym trybie, tak, około. Hitman 3, 65 FPS-ów, Shadow of the Tomb Raider 47, 64, 43, Red Dead Redemption. Co ciekawe, tutaj Steam Deck trochę lepiej. A w trybie turbo, no pewnie ten tytuł też pewnie zżera baterię, podejrzewam, po 1,5 godziny, jak odpali się na turbo. Borderlands, Forza, Horizon 5. No generalnie prezentuje się to tak, że jest lepsze, więcej klatek generuje. Może nie we wszystkich grach, ale jest generalnie lepsze, mocniejsze. No i to był ten artykuł, tu nic więcej akurat nie ma. To sobie to dalej rozmawiają o konsoli i sobie ją oglądają ze wszystkich stron. Spokojnie. Czy ja tu jeszcze mam jakiś artykuł, żeby ewentualnie coś tutaj jeszcze powiedzieć? Też nie chcę, żeby to trwało długo, już tutaj godzinkę sobie siedzimy, więc myślę, że akurat tyle wystarczy. Ja tutaj mi się już tutaj nic nie pokazuje. No nie wiem, ja akurat będę teraz sobie nadrabiać te wszystkie recenzje, tak, żeby jak tutaj najlepszy obraz ogólnie uzyskać, jak ten ROG Ally sobie radzi, co nie? No i ewentualnie jakiś materiał może się jeszcze z Asusa pojawi, tak? Może gdzieś tam wspominę na jakimś streamie ewentualnie, bo ja tak wstępnie to powiem szczerze, że nie została ujawniona co prawda cena tej wersji gorszej, no mówię, podejrzewam, że to będzie 400 zł mniej względem tej ceny, czyli odpowiednio 400. Może będzie trochę więcej, nie wiem, ale raczej bym się skłaniał do tego, że będzie tak właśnie 3400-3500 kosztować. No i gdyby tak było, to w sumie ja jestem nawet trochę kupiony, w sensie no jeszcze muszę zobaczyć właśnie te recenzje i to tak naprawdę zweryfikuje wszystko. Może z jakichś polskich redakcji też się coś pojawi, nie wiem, i zobaczymy, ale tak na razie to dalej jestem jakby tutaj zainteresowany potencjalnie, nie? Jeszcze druga sprawa, że trzeba kasę nazbierać, ale to powiedzmy, może będzie się dało zrobić akurat i może nie będzie z tym problemu.
HBO, whatever you want to do, streaming or just downloading movies straight to your device. You know,
you can download the Netflix app through Windows 10 and then you can download movies for the plane.
Yeah.
It's bigger screen than
Baterii
your
czy
phone.
pod zasilaniem, bo jednak dużo tego typu sprzętu, czy nawet laptop dostaje kopa po podpięciu do ładowarki, bo mają nałożone limity, jeżeli działają z baterii. Tak. Sprawdza się zasada, żeby nie cytować PPO, nie ma 20 kwietnia, szukać drugiego dna w tym. Tak. No mówię, no trochę się dowiedzieliśmy nowych rzeczy. Ciekaw jestem, czy będzie jakiś jeszcze sklep też oprócz RTV Euro, który wystartuje z preorderami. Czy już wystartowały? Pewnie nie jeszcze. Jeszcze nie, no ale pewnie to kwestia tam kwestia godzin, może dni. Nim to tutaj u nas będzie możliwość kupienia, ale mówię, jak na razie to ja sobie poczekam spokojnie, pooglądam te recenzje, poczekam sobie spokojnie na model z tym CPU Ryzen Z1, tak, i wtedy myślę podejmę ostateczną decyzję, bo też oni dostali do rąk w ogóle tę wersję właśnie najbogatszą, tak, więc ona się tak sprawuje konkretnie te 1,5 godziny w tych najmocniejszych grach, to jest właśnie na tej wersji. Zobaczymy, jak to właśnie będzie na tej tańszej, czy może bateria może będzie się lepiej trzymała. No. Tak, no 3800, tak o tym wspomniałem też, że znalazłem w artykule, też chyba PPE akurat, że tak, że to będzie 3800 kosztować bez złotówki i to jest jak najbardziej prawidłowa informacja. Więc czekamy jeszcze na konkrety właśnie odnośnie wersji tańszej. Tutaj widzę też Media Expert mam stronkę, więc widzę elektromarkety się już tutaj szykują. No spoko. Ciekaw jestem też, jak będzie się sprzedawało to. Premiera jest tak, co prawda jest za miesiąc, ale zobaczymy, jak te pierwsze miesiące będą się właśnie z tym Allyem tutaj, czy ludzi zachęci ta cena, czy raczej odepchnie i będzie więcej posiadaczy Steam Decka. Bardzo, bardzo jestem tego ciekaw. Dobra. To by było na tyle. Myślę, tu więcej chyba specjalnie nie chcę przedłużać. Właśnie mam do zobaczenia te materiały, jeszcze parę innych rzeczy. Między innymi też przygotowanie kolejnego materiału, który jest już co prawda nagrany, trzeba go tylko zmontować. Na razie nie będę mówić jeszcze co, ale właśnie coś takiego mam w planach, więc na ten moment to właśnie wszystko. Także dzięki bardzo tutaj za uwagę i widzimy się, mam nadzieję, w kolejnych materiałach już niedługo, no przy okazji właśnie może jakiegoś streama albo tego materiału, tak, który tam się szykuje w montażowni na razie jest, ale jeszcze trochę i możliwe, że wyjdzie, tak, będzie można sobie go oglądać, więc no, jeśli tutaj ktoś jeszcze nie zasubskrybował kanału, no to zachęcam, żeby pozostać na bieżąco, no i oczywiście zapraszam też do grupy na Discordzie, jeśli tam jeszcze nie odwiedzaliście nas. Bardzo fajne miejsce, bardzo tutaj przyjemnie jest i można się dowiedzieć też paru fajnych rzeczy. No, także dzięki raz jeszcze, no i do zobaczenia. Niedługo trzymajcie się, do usłyszenia. Cześć.
Okay.